top.
Hello, Ray.
Hey, how's it going?
Playing some Metal Gear.
Mm-hmm. Do you know about the, about the thing with Rose here?
What thing?
The thing with the controller? If you, just shake it a bit as you're talking to her, the contents of her brassiere, they sort of flop.
You mean her boobs?
Right, yeah, you can call them that.
That's stupid. That can't be true.
No, I did it, dude.
Dude, you're on too many message boards. You're so gullible.
It was hilarious, though. Seriously, it's Metal Gear. They do that stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to play Metal Gear, not look at cartoon boobs.
Yeah, alright, whatever, man.
Whatever.
You're whatever.
Whatever.
I'm worried about him, of course, but I'm also afraid of him.
All right. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Jack?
Yeah.
Did he seem okay?
Yeah, as far as I could tell from his voice.
Really? That's great. Snake. Don't let him know I'm involved in this operation. I think it would be best.
What do you do to kick off this game?
You kick off the game by opening Pandora's box. When you open Pandora's box, you release the creatures of myth and legend into the modern world. It really is your world and my world, like if these creatures were walking outside the building. And it just wrecks New York City.
So I just got done playing Legendary for footage, and this was
Yeah.
I think this is the first time I've seen it since I originally previewed it, like 8 months ago. Like it's a lot of narrative-driven first-person shooters where you're constantly kind of being pushed in one direction from point A to point B in a very linear fashion, and that's broken up by these kind of like arena areas where you're essentially doing fighting. So it's kind of like a mix of a lot of exploring and kind of seeing all these set pieces that they're providing for you.
When you say arena, they're kind of small. Like there are different ways to go about it, and there are enemies to avoid and tactics you can use and all that. But that's what this game expects you to do.
And it also kind of fits with the type of enemies that you're fighting. I mean, there's a lot of different ones that we can talk about, but I mean, definitely my favorite, the one that stood out, was the werewolves.
It's basically a werewolf shooter.
It is. It really, I mean, you can definitely tell that is the highlight of the one enemy that they're really kind of banking on.
Yeah.
They're great, though. I felt like they were really fun to fight.
They're like climbing up the walls. Some of them are coming in the windows. Some of them are coming down the stairs from the roof above. Some are coming from below you. It's really cool how enemies how they use the environment. I like that a lot.
Exactly. And they're so the fights are so intense because the minute you see a couple of them coming at you, they're super just fired up, angry. They're growling. They're jumping all along walls, climbing up them, coming back down, throwing anything that comes in front of them at you. And it's from the minute you get at them, you're it's like an all-out, stay alive constant movement, constant shooting, and trying to keep these guys in front of you for pretty much the whole duration of the fight.
Right. So that's the good part. That's like what makes this game good.
Yes.
As I've heard, this game's been around for a long time. It went through like what, 3 or 4 different publishers along the way.
It's been a wild ride. Yeah.
So, I guess it's like, why didn't the game die? Why did you guys want to kind of stick with this one instead of like going off into something else?
I think in a lot of ways, when there's a game you believe in and that you really can own, you get to really see where it can go. And we always had believers at every stop. People who knew what we were making could be great. When you're an independent developer and you're making original IP, you start off with 2 strikes. It's instantly tough. And then when you're talking about big budget, it's really tough. So we knew that conflict between these mythical creatures in the modern world and that's sort of the dynamic of it. You know, I mean, it's really, it can be electric. And so to really take what we saw in our mind's eye and say, no, we're right. Wait, you'll see, and push it and keep on pushing it. We're kind of, we're a little stubborn at Spark. We really like to, if we believe in something, we really keep on pushing and we don't quit. The stage we're at now is functionally the game is complete. It has all of its parts are there. They're all working essentially how they're expected to, in that nobody is going to have something change out from underneath them anymore. But now what we're after is those fine-tuned polish items, that swapping out a character for a higher res character, doing another pass on textures so that they just look that much better on the console specific one. You get to do, once you start churning through a level for as many months as we've been able to churn through the game, we're really able to identify where the best bang for the buck is. And we can decide, hey look, we want to cycle through these characters and do another pass on them because we know we see them. And we've identified all the civilians that we know people are going to see. So we make sure that those guys are done to the 9. You really want to turn up all the quality you can and really get every last little bit of it into the game. I know people expect it now, and we expect it too. So it's really all about those things and getting rid of the bugs.
I'm curious to see if the rest of the game can hold up, because I mean it doesn't have the AAA production values of like that Infinity Ward or Bungie or somebody else like that can afford. I think the art design is cool, and I like the enemies, and I like how it's a different setting. Well, not the setting is kind of familiar, but I like how the creatures are different.
Sure.
So that adds a lot of variety, and I like that a lot.
That was kind of the way I felt when I was playing it, was that, looking at it, I think it looks good. And it's nothing I haven't seen before, and I don't want to like stand on the rooftops and shout about its amazing graphics. I mean, it's not going to blow anybody away, but I feel like it looks good enough where it could keep people playing. So what I was really looking into it was kind of like where the story was going, how they're going to be using these mythological beasts as an interesting enemy to combat. And also, they talked a lot about, like you said, that dynamic of, you have one group of human characters that are trying to kill you, and you have the mythical beasts that are trying to kill you and them. So getting these like little playground opportunities to kind of like mess around with that and get those guys to interact with each other and try to do battles in different ways. That was the one thing that I hadn't seen so far.
I think that's the key. Like, I think we've played about 3 levels,
Yep.
and I think if that works, like if they can set up enough interesting scenarios where you really have the chance to mess around with that, I think the game can be really, really good. I'm hoping that we'll see some levels later on where you really get to mess with like the enemies and kind of how they work together, and you really get to kind of explore their behavior and how they're all jumping around everywhere and everything.
All I want is a fast car and a place to go.
It's definitely a Vin Diesel super high budget, summer popcorn flick.
That game has been in the works for a long time, and we haven't seen it. It's never been playable, so I was just kind of curious to see if it was anything worth caring about, or if it was just going to be another like Vin Diesel wants to be in a game nonsense.
Midway was looking at that game and they're like, hey, we've shown this game and it hasn't really stood out and we think it's pretty cool, but everyone just can't get past the whole, oh, it's Vin Diesel, oh, it's Tygon. And it was kind of cool. I mean, at least I didn't realize it was going to be as much just in the car part as it's in the car.
Well, I think that's when it's at its best. Like, they told us it's like 80-20 split between vehicle and on foot, and the on foot stuff did not impress me. They got, GTA 4 obviously doing it better. It, like, seems pretty limited, but the car stuff here, I think it's the best part of the game. The fact that you can attack other cars with your car. That's surprisingly fun.
Yeah, that's totally what it's all about. Is that whole and the mechanic with the right stick? Like someone was asking me, isn't that feel weird? And I was like, actually, it doesn't feel weird once you get accustomed. It feels totally natural. Instead of like slamming your car, like this is steering, right? But then when you do that, it's like you're actually like.
It is satisfying to like smash into all these other cars with your car, for sure.
That's why it's cool that it's just a flick of the right stick, because like I don't want to have to learn how to actually do like a pit move or whatever to do it right. I want to be able to just drive along and be a badass.
Move in! Give me a clear shot!
The other, special thing that this game has going is you can slow down time. It has a name, I forget what it's called, and you can, shoot out your window and like blow things up in slow motion. But you've seen bullet time before, but used in a driving game where you're just trying to destroy stuff. It's surprisingly fun. I mean, everything here is bits and pieces from other games. So if you're expecting like, this world-ending unique experience, no, but it's polished. Like Vin Diesel, he's a good actor, and they spent a lot of time making his model look really like Vin Diesel.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah,
they need to spend some time on the other models, because like right now Vin Diesel looks like amazing, and then.
But the other thing I realized is this game is very hard teen rating. Like they're going for a teen rating. It's not going to be mature, and if you're a parent who doesn't want to buy your kid GTA, like this is almost like GTA, and it's I think it's going to find a market there, like of slightly younger players who want this aspirational GTA fantasy who can't actually play it, and I think they can do a lot worse than this.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to get a big comparison to Driver, of course, and that's been a franchise that has never lived up to the promise of the first couple of games. I mean, we all know how that went downhill, so this could maybe capitalize on some of that vibe as well. I like where it takes place. What do you think of Barcelona?
I think it's a cool place to set the game, and it's a beautiful city. We didn't get to see some of the really cool stuff like the Sagrada Familia, some of these landmarks. But yeah, I'm glad they put it there. Do I think the city seemed like a living, breathing place? Not really.
No, not really. Well, there's traffic on the streets and stuff, but the place is cool. It looked like a cool place. Like architecturally and the layout of the city and everything, it seemed right.
You do this a lot, huh? A little violence goes a long way. Don't say so much. I appreciate.
It's more of a straight action driving game with lots of these, like set up scripted sequences, almost like a movie where there's only really one way to get through the mission. But
it's Stuntman in that regard.
It's Stuntman meets Driver meets Burnout
with Road Rash. Yeah, so that's like we now made this interesting potpourri. We have a bouillabaisse of car games.
Right!
I walked in a super skeptic, and I came out surprised by how fun like smashing into things was. So I'm definitely curious to see where it goes from here.
David, that only works with Rose.
Yeah, it fast forwards the cutscene. See? See?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, no, totally.
I'm adding it to the Super Guide.
Yeah. All right. Great. Yeah. All right. Well, keep it up there, and I'll just.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute. Look at this.
Yeah. Look at that.
Aren't we the special little guy?
Yeah. Got signed by Kojima.
Kojima himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's on the back.
Ryan Payton. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh man, Yumi Kikuchi.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Dude, I know.
She signs her eyes with little hearts.
I know, dude.
We had a moment.
Raging beauty, man.
There were so many people there. It was ridiculous.
Here at the Metal Gear Solid 4 signing at the Metron in San Francisco with Josh. You're not in cosplay, Josh. Where's your costume?
Sorry, I was gonna do the exclamation mark thing, but
super fan Stephen Kleckner, who is here cosplaying as which character?
Your basic civilian in the Metal Gear universe.
Metal Gear fans in mass don't appear to be nearly as crazy as Final Fantasy fans. Because when we come here for Final Fantasy stuff, everyone's dressed up as like a wizard and a chocobo, and you're like the only dude in cosplay. So why are Metal Gear fans more normal than Final Fantasy fans?
we get to date women.
You guys are still in line. This is the line right here. No, you're not even in line.
They cut us off.
They cut it off.
They cut it off like 50 people before, and they were like, well, maybe you might get in, maybe you won't. So we decided, you know what, we'll just kind of hang out right here, maybe get their attention.
I think they have you. They've noticed you guys. So what are you going to ask Mr. Kojima if you could ask me anything?
If he's gonna make Zone Enders 3?
I'm gonna ask him about sequel.
Oh!
There's got to be a sequel to this, dude.
Are you gonna have Kojima sign your Playboys?
I was planning to.
This is all I want to do. I don't even want a signature. I just want to give this to him.
You're not gonna sell these. You just want to give it. You just want to give that to Kojima.
This to Kojima.
I
I
want you to like lovingly. Did you already have a PS3 or did you get one for this game?
I'm actually buying one for this game.
This game and Street Fighter 4, right?
Well, yeah, Street Fighter.
I know you're like Street Fighter nerd. So, okay, here's the question: have you finished the game yet?
Yes.
The game came out 72 hours ago. What? 48 hours ago?
Got a marathon these things, dude.
What was your rank at the end?
Let's see.
Who gets to play it first? You or the dude in the box?
He does. I have to go to work.
But your camo index is not nearly as high as his.
No, unfortunately, I'm just a nerd programmer. So
why didn't you come in a oil drum? You could have rolled right into the signing. That would have been really impressive. You guys win the total costume contest. The guy in the box was all right, but no, this is real dedication. And Meryl, now that Snake's so old, you find him less attractive?
You know, yes and no. I was really sad about it, but I still care for him.
He's still a good guy on the inside. But here's the question: Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, or 3. What's your favorite?
3.
Why?
Best boss fights ever.
Okay, which is better, the boss fight or the end fight?
I gotta say the end because at that point, like the game's kind of like, and then you hit the end, you're like, holy crap!
Yeah.
This game is like going somewhere. So I really gotta give it to the end.
How long did it take you to beat him?
Took me about 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Took me 3 hours to beat the end.
Oh,
yeah, it was great.
You suck, man.
All right, so if you get to talk to Kojima, what are you gonna ask him, dude in box?
Sign me, hug me, I don't know, fuck me.
Rated T for teen.
This is probably not good.
I'm home.
So we're here with the creators of the Korg DS10, which is a piece of, well, Nintendo DS software. It's not a game, which, you know, in Japan is not that big a deal. There's lots of productivity software in Japan, but I think this is the first actual musical instrument that's been created for the Nintendo DS.
When you use electroplankton, you can't record anything you do. You just kind of play around with the images on the screen or whatever, and then after that, if you weren't recording it on something else, then you
lose your work.
You lose it, right? It's kind of performance art. Kazu wrote the synthesizer engine for the DS10.
Yeah.
And Masa is just enthusiastic.
Yeah, I just said, please work this way.
So the DS10 was actually, it was a collaboration of 3 different companies, right?
Yes, actually 4 companies, but the development works were 3 companies. So
Right.
we are one. We
Mhm.
made synthesizer.
Right.
And another company made UI,
Mhm.
UI stuff, and another company made the sequencer and audio stuff.
Right. What was the inspiration for the Korg DS10?
So actually, this story is funny. So the producer
Mhm.
of Caviar and HU Interactive, the two game companies. So they are two people were drinking in the bar in Japan. They are very drunk at that time. And when the guy opened the DS, he realized that it looks like Korg synthesizer.
Oh, the
it
shape.
looks like, yes, shape is very looks like Korg MS-20 or MS-10.
Right.
So he thought, if we could make synthesizer on it, it could be very fun.
And you can carry it around in your pocket with you. You could go to a live performance with just your DS and plug right into the mixer and perform a set. Maybe it wouldn't be the most full sounding set ever, but if you had a couple more DSs with you, maybe you brought 3 or 4 along, then you could have a really robust, song or performance that you created.
From what I've heard so far, I had to disagree with you there. That thing is full featured. I mean, that's a whole synthesizer.
Well, yes, that's what I mean.
I mean, but the thing is, you could do like an entire performance just using that. You were playing that demo song a moment ago for me, and I was just like, all of this is done, and you were like, yeah. I was just surprised that you could get such amazing sounds out of there. Now, the DS10 actually doesn't use any samples, right?
Yes.
So it's all synthesized, right?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of sounds can you get out of the synthesizer and the drum machine?
It is analog modeling synthesizer. So the synthesizer engine create a saw wave and a square wave.
Yeah, saw, square, sine.
Noise.
You can start to make the sound very primitive sound,
like pure sine tones. Yeah.
And you can edit it using filters, envelope generators, modulations,
right,
and effects.
Right.
So you can make various sound. You can use 2 synthesizers and then 4 drum tracks to make song.
You got the gate parameters, and you can also do VCO. It's like it was a real, I mean, it's not like it was like a real, it is a real synthesizer. About how many patterns can you store on the DS10?
If you want to create one song, and you can create 16 patterns. You can store 21 sessions. One session has 16 patterns.
21 sessions. Yeah, 21 times 16 patterns. So,
wow. That is way more robust, way more memory than I thought it would have. That's a lot that you can store in there. So you could do literally an entire live performance.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, 21
no problem
songs.
At all.
Come on.
That's awesome. Plus playing live on the Chaos Pad, and also it has a keyboard layout like a piano that you can also play the notes on too. You could prepare a bunch of stuff and then improv on top of it. It's amazing to me that it's a full synthesizer in one little cartridge.
The funny thing is my first experience with the DS10 is I come and I pick up Masa and Kazu. So we're in the car, and then Masa busts out this metallic pink DS and just starts jamming.
Say metallic pink.
But it is, man. It was the pink hotness. So anyway,
I should buy jet black. Okay.
So he's sitting in the back seat jamming, but he doesn't know that my stereo system is hooked up to where I have a 1/8 inch plug in the front. So I just unplug it and I hand it to him. Anthony plugs it into the bottom of the DS, and then I just crank up the system, and it's like, and we're just going down the street, and he's just sitting there just playing around with the castellator.
Wow. With a huge JBL speaker.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, with my subwoofer and everything. It was a club. It was a moving club.
That is.
And I mean, you're not gonna do that with anything else.
Nope. Not only is the DS10 a full synthesizer that you could use at home in your studio, but it is, to me, I think the killer app of something like this is the fact that it makes the live performance fun and interesting. Turn it up, make it loud. Let's
Whenever
do it.
you're ready.
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds perfect. Guys, that was really impressive. I can't believe that you played something that was that amazing on 2 DSs. That's incredible.
You can sync, wirelessly and play into the same mixer. I mean, that's a blast. You can even include the price of a Nintendo DS, just the DS price plus, an extra $45. You have a full-featured synthesizer. That's way more than you can get on the market for not even people who are video game enthusiasts, but if you're a musician and you want a synthesizer, this is the thing to get.
Please don't play it on the train.
Oh yeah.
Why not?
Or your stations. Your station.
I'll just go right past where I'm supposed to end up. Yeah.
Like us. We lost 2 stations.
On the BART?
Yeah.
July 24th?
Yes, in Japan.
In Japan.
And as soon as we can possibly convince someone to bring it to the US,
Absolutely.
We'll work on that one.
We're there.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was amazing, you guys.